we would like to welcome Billy Horschel to the 3M Open. Billy, making your tournament debut, want to start off just some comments about overall first thoughts of the tournament.
You know, I've watched this tournament on TV the last few years and heard some of the feedback from players, and they rave about the golf course and the condition that it's in, and it's been unbelievable. You know, just playing the front side, the conditions of the golf course is impeccable. And then, you know, talking with the tournament staff when I got here yesterday, telling me the amenities that they have for the families and the kids and everything. That's something that makes the tournament really special. Is obviously taking care of the players is one thing, but if you take care of our families and our kids, it puts it in a different level. And so 3M's done an unbelievable job from just the 2 days I've been here and then everything else I've heard. I guess the only thing is that I mean it's really hot. I wasn't expecting the temperatures to be this high, and I mean holy buckets, it's a scorcher out there. It really is, and hopefully it cools off this weekend.
With that mentioning, is the family with you this week then?
Yeah, they are coming up. They land in a couple hours. I'll go pick them up at the airport. You know, they've still got another month until they sort of go back to school, and I haven't seen them in a couple weeks. And when I committed to this event, my wife Brittany goes, you know, maybe we'll just come up to Minnesota, and it made sense to come up this event to check it out and have a good time. So hopefully they bring me some good luck this week.
You mentioned you got to play a 9. Was it the front 9 or the back 9? And what are you seeing of the layout of the course, kind of how it's matching your game?
Yeah, I played the front 9 early this morning. I think the fairways are somewhat generous. You know, you can push driver a little bit and be aggressive with the driver. The green speeds are, I mean, just super fast, and maybe it just seems that way because we've been over in the Scotland and England the last 2 weeks playing on green speeds that are a lot slower than we have here in America. So, but the condition of the golf course, I think it's awesome. I think there's some really cool holes on the front with the layouts and everything. I've been told the backside's even better. So I'll check that out tomorrow morning in the Pro-Am, and like I said, I'm excited to see this course in an actual tournament aspect. The winning score is sort of where I like a winning score, maybe a little bit higher than what I think is an ideal winning score, but it sort of fits my game in the sense that if I can get my game going and play well, I like, you know, where that winning score seems to end up every year.
Seen you across the pond repping the beard, but kind of maybe what's the story behind growing it? What's the feedback you've gotten?
Yeah, so there's no story. I had 2 weeks off after Travelers and just wasn't going to shave, and decided, you know, I think maybe my wife Brittany mentioned you should just grow the beard back, see if that changes up the game a little bit, and maybe that's why I just didn't shave. Kept it, you know, last couple of weeks, and I'm not going to say it hasn't changed the game, but the game hasn't gotten any worse. That's a benefit, but yeah, I think I've got a lot of great responses from it. People are very sort of shocked. They don't recognize me at first because it's a completely different look. But I do say I did have it back a couple years ago, and I haven't really grown one since. But there's a lot more gray and white hairs in there than it was last time. So we're going to see. My kids have seen it on FaceTime, and they told me I needed to shave it last night, which I'm not going to. But we're going to see it. But their responses when they see me today, and I know my Colby, my middle one, when I had it in the past, she used to always like rub my face and just touch it. So I'm expecting some of that later today.
I guess most importantly, wife likes it.
As of right now, yes, she does. I'm sure like any female who kisses a guy with a beard, you do get poked in the face a little bit with the whiskers that we have. So hopefully it's not too bad for her.
I may have some few more for you, but we'll throw it over to MK for a few.
Up on that, if you were to have a really successful week this week or next week, would you keep the beard?
Yeah, the beard's going to stay around for a little bit. I don't plan on shaving it anytime soon. I'm hoping that the game starts turning around. I start playing well, and I'll keep it. I do like the way I look with a beard a little bit. It does change the way I see myself. But I guess the only time I would have to shave it is maybe a Ralph Lauren photo shoot that I would have to do in the fall. I don't think the beard, not that they would be against it, but I've just never done a photo shoot with them with a beard, and so I would shave it for them if that's something they want to do. So yeah, the beard's going to stay around, and hopefully the game picks up and starts playing well, and I can say, you know, it's because of the beard.
Now, clearly the next 2 weeks, 70 is on everybody's mind. That can cause a lot of stress. How do you manage that and the pressures that come along with needing to play really well this week and next week?
You know, that's a great question. You know, my game hasn't been well this year. It's actually been a lot better last month. The signs, the results haven't shown that, but, you know, with the people who've watched me play from my team and from family and friends, they can all see that I'm playing a lot better, and it's really close. I just haven't got the momentum going on my side. I haven't made the putts, you know, to get things going my way. But I sort of consciously sort of realized I may not make the playoffs this year about a month and a half ago. And I wasn't going to, you know, worry about the FedEx Cup playoffs. As much as I want to be a part of it, as much as I, you know, love being in that arena and trying to win another FedEx Cup trophy, I just couldn't stress about that anymore. I couldn't worry about it anymore. I'm fortunate enough I've got a card for the next 3 or 4 years based off the wins I've had the last couple of years. It's not going to change my schedule next year at all. You know, it's, you know, the designated events, yeah, it's going to be, you know, a little tough to get into those because I'm not going to be automatically in those. I'm going to probably need some sponsor exemptions or get my world ranking up higher again to be eligible for those events at the beginning of next year. But I'm not stressing about it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I get a month off at home before I go over and play over in Europe for about 4 or 5 weeks. So I'm more focused on trying to get my game and get the game back to where I want it to be, get back to, you know, playing quality golf, get back to being in contention to win tournaments. And, you know, if I can do that these next 2 weeks, and then hopefully, you know, I can qualify for the FedEx Cup playoffs. Because obviously that still is my goal, but like a lot of guys, I'm not too stressed about it. You know, other guys have to worry about it based off, you know, the card situation going into next year.
And you've been around for many playoffs. When the cut was initially announced at 70, do you think that it was players like yourself thought it would be as daunting of a challenge, as significant of a cut as it was?
You know, at that time, no, because I was playing well. It's like, I'm not too worried. You know, I've always been inside the top 70 every year since 2013. I've never not been outside the top 70, I remember, that I can think of, so I wasn't really too worried about it. But now that I've looked at it, it is a really daunting task. You have to play well to be able to be in the top 70. I think, you know, talking with some guys, and, you know, I was a part of those PAC meetings at the time, and I was part of the top players group, you know, discussing some of these changes. And, you know, I think we all thought 70 was a good number, and now looking back at it and talking with some guys, we're thinking maybe that number needs to be a little bit more. Maybe it needs to be around 100. Maybe it needs to be around 90. I don't know if that's been talked about in PAC meetings. I don't know if that's even been discussed, or if there's even, you know, a chance of that being changed next year. Knowing how the tour works, they're not going to change something, you know, within 1 year majority of the time. They're going to give it a little while. But I think, you know, I think it would be probably a little bit better if that number was a little bit higher. But at the same time, I understand why we have 70, 50, 30. So, yeah, we'll see how it works out. But, yeah, that 70 number is a lot daunting now, sitting in the seat, not playing good golf, to where I was a year ago where I was playing really quality golf, and I've never worried about that at all. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a daunting task for all of us now.
This is my last one,
yeah.
But when we were in Ohio about a month ago, you had said that something had clicked the last month where you felt like your game was really trending. Yeah. It may not show the results yet, but is there something when you look back at that week in Ohio that you think, this is something that I learned about myself and this is helping me go through the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think, listen, that week in Memorial was a tough one. There's no doubt about it. But I think for me, that turning point was how I handled that round on Thursday. I don't know. I think I shot 84. I can't remember what I shot. I know it was in the 80s. You know, because it had been a stressful time up to that point. You know, you put a lot into this game of golf. You work hard. You you try and do the right things, you're doing everything you can to try and get better, and you're not seeing any results, it wears on you. And my team was aware of it, and I had shared, you know, where I was in a mental space. But I think, you know, just sort of maybe sharing that with the public, not something I planned on doing. It just happened. I think it sort of rebalanced everything, recentered everything, sort of just started from scratch. And from there, I felt like I've been in a lot better of a mental spot, a lot better, you know, clear mind. And I think, you know, like I said, the results don't show it, but I've played a lot more quality golf since then. So, so that Thursday round, that Thursday, you know, media session afterwards, where I just sort of shared, you know, where I was mentally and confidence-wise with the world, sort of was, you know, just getting it off my chest. And, you know, as I've told a lot of people, you know, it doesn't matter if it's sport or life or anything else, you know, just being able to share that with people and getting it off your chest, it goes a long way into moving forward. And then at the same time, getting all the responses I got from all my family, from all my friends, from all the people who reached out to me from other parts of the world and other, you know, jobs and everything else they are in. That was such a touching moment, and sort of, like I said, just brought me back to, you know, where I needed to be mentally going forward.
Billy, one of the things that you said that day was that, as crazy as that day was, it didn't feel like you were that far off. I'm just wondering mentally where you're at now and some of the work you and Todd have been doing to try to get things tight.
I mean, I didn't feel I was that far off, even though I shot 84. I feel a lot better about my game. I think after Travelers, after the U.S. Open, after Travelers, I came home, and it was that first time all year where I felt like my game is really close. It's not far off. Even though I've said that all year, I'm not one of those guys that can sort of trick myself into feel like I'm close. I have to honestly know it. I mean, I just, you know, at the end of the day, I'm a realist. I can't sort of fake a lot of things. And so we've done a lot of great work. Swing-wise, we've hit it really well. We've just made a couple sort of subtle changes over the last month, and been hitting the ball a lot better. The misses my big miss that has been an issue all year has sort of gone out the door. We just haven't been as sharp with my short and mid irons as I need to be over the last month or so. And at the same time, I'm not making any putts, which doesn't matter how well you hit it. If you're not making any putts, it's going to be tough to play well. So I feel really good with my game. I feel really good mentally where I am. I feel it's just, you know, it's a matter of time. I feel like I'm knocking on the wall and I'm beating down this wall, and it's just a matter of time until it falls. And hopefully it's this week, and it sort of sets up a great run, you know, going into the fall, and play some great golf, you know, the rest of this fall, and jump starts me or can carry that momentum on into next year, because, you know, I love playing golf. I want to win tournaments. I want to compete with the best. I want to win majors, and I'm getting into an area of my career where there's not much, you know, there's still a lot of time left, but there's not as much time as there was 10 years ago. So I want to make sure that I give myself the best opportunity to achieve everything I can in the game over the next 5 to 7 years.
And lastly for me, you just mentioned it, but I know how much you love this game, the passion that you have for it. Over the last couple of months, I guess I'm kind of trying to explore the relationship between having fun on the course and success on the course. Do you think it's more of a you have success and then you have fun, or you need to have fun in order to have success?
You know, that's a great question, and you could ask a whole bunch of different people, and they can say, you know, choose one or the other, and you get a split room. I can have fun off the golf course. Practice-wise, I can have fun. I can enjoy the grind. I can enjoy getting better. I can enjoy all of that. But when it comes to competition, I'm only having fun if I'm playing well. It's just simple as that. And I can have fun out there, but I've tried that in the, you know, over the last few years, and I've realized, you know, trying to be in a good frame of mind, trying to be in a jolly good mood, trying to be, you know, in a, hey, let's just go out there and have fun out there on the golf course and see what happens. Like, that hasn't ultimately led to my success in my career, or the success over the last, you know, several years. It's more or less when I'm playing well and I'm having success on the golf course, that's when I'm having my fun. That's when it's really fun on the golf course, because I think what happens is it shows that all the hard work you're doing is translating over into the heat of the moment, into competition, and that's what, you know, puts a big smile on my face, is all the hard work I do away from, you know, the competition days, away from tournaments or at tournaments, and then you can translate that into a competition, and you can say, man, that was really fun. I mean, obviously I'm enjoying the grind off the golf course, but, you know, when you can do it on the golf course in the heat, that's an exciting moment. I think a lot of us would be in the similar mode of that.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Billy. We hope you have fun this week.
I will, I promise you.
Appreciate the time as always.
Thank you.